are actually the number one way to expand your network and to earn money while doing so. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dylan Wingard, and today we're going to talk about what you can do while you're looking for your next job and how to expand your network, all while making cash to do so. So for those of you who don't know, I currently attend Portland State University. I'm studying electrical engineering and working part-time. Now the whole secret to this video is actually what I do part-time, and it can help you to vastly increase your network, make connections with employers. I've personally connected with over 40 employers for internship opportunities and job prospects, and I'm sure that number will continue to stack up. Here's what I do. I just drive my car around the city and pick up strangers and talk to them. Well, I mean, that's actually what I do. I drive part-time for Lyft and Uber. So a great example of how this works is actually how I got my summer internship just this last summer, and how I've made a bunch of connections with future employers for future jobs and internships. Now, then I'll explain just how you can do this, the best times you might want to drive, the points that you need to casually bring up, and how much you can actually earn if you do this correctly. So how I got my summer internship is actually a pretty routine story. I picked up this guy from a hotel, and we just started talking, and I told him I was a student. He asked what I was studying, electrical engineering, blah blah blah. As soon as I told him that I was studying electrical engineering, he was like, oh my gosh, I just met with this company and they need electrical engineers so badly. And so he actually grabbed my email, gave me his business card, said he would set up me with the CEO of the company, which at the time I was like, okay, yeah, like blah blah blah. Turns out this guy was actually a headhunter. So later that day, I got an email connecting me to him and the CEO. Now, this is a great opportunity, which I then waited 5 months to follow up on. And you might be asking yourself, well, why would you do that? It was October. I'm looking for an internship during the summer. It's kind of early to make that connection, right? But it was still there. So that connection was started. 5 months later, I emailed him again, said, hey, I connected with you via XYZ, the headhunter's name, and then I was looking for a summer internship, and here's my resume. Now, even though I had waited, he knew that we had been connected before. He was now in my network. And so with that, actually, it's kind of funny, he just looked at my resume and offered me the job. Not a normal way to interview. But that, it really is just the power of networking, They hired this guy to go and look for people. He pointed them to me, and there we go. I had a summer internship. It was a great opportunity. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. Now, this is exactly how networking works. So even though you might not think that every connection matters, it does, because it could be 5 months later. It could be a year later. It could be 5 years later. And you could still have that connection, and you could still use that as your next opportunity. So in general, this is actually a two-way street. It opens up an opportunity for you as the networkee and them as the networker. Don't think these are words, but whatever, you get the point. So now I'm going to talk about how Lyft and Uber are actually the number one way to expand your network and to earn money while doing so. It's pretty simple, actually. Networking consists of 3 things: meeting people, talking to people, and connecting with people. So number 1, meeting people. You can meet between 10 and 40 people a day for at least 5 minutes at a time, depending on how long you drive each day. Now, whether you're in school and about to get your first job, or maybe even internship, or you've actually been in a career for a few years or even a lot of years, this method is extremely good for expanding your network if even one of those people every day wants to connect with you. Now, this brings me to my second talking point, talking to people. I want to stress, don't ever jump into what the person does for work. Don't ever do that. It's awkward if the first thing they hear when they get in the car is, hey, what do you do? It's kind of questioning, kind of pushy. We don't want to offset people. Now, the safest way to open a conversation is actually just kind of lame, really. It's, hey, how's your morning going? How's your day going? Where are you headed to? If they're going to the airport, it's pretty obvious that they're flying somewhere. So where are they flying to? And this conversation, while it seems mundane, is actually a way to get the person to feel comfortable. So you talk about their destination for a little bit. Are they going for vacation? Are they going back home? Are they leaving for a while? What's the duration of their trip? And here is the key. Once they've talked about that, once you've talked about their day, you can ask what they do for work. Now, this is key because you want to know what industry they're in, and if they're in an industry that you're either interested in getting into, an industry you've been in, or the industry that you're currently in. You really want to connect with all of these types of people because there's always more doors that can be opened. One more key point here is if they're going on vacation, never ask what they do for work. The only way that you talk about work with that person, if they're going on vacation, is if they bring it up with no context involved. Nobody wants to go on vacation and right before they leave, talk about the project that they left at work that they're going to have to come back to. Trust me on this, you don't want to do it. It's a bad way to make a connection, and to be honest, they're less likely to tip. So why is Uber and Lyft the number one way to expand your network? Well, you connect with people. They're in your car for between 5 and honestly upwards 45 minutes to an hour. You've got time to talk. Now, this is a great way to find out if you would like to work for a company. It's a great way to meet somebody in the company. It's always great to get a recommendation and to walk away with a business card. So if the conversation went well, at the end of the ride, either offer them your own business card or ask if they have one. This is totally fine. If it feels normal, then go for it. Now, if the conversation was mostly quiet and the person didn't really seem up to talking, it's actually unlikely that they would serve as a good connection in that company because they're not going to remember you. They're not going to know who you are. They don't really care about you, to be honest. And so I just wouldn't bother trying to add them to your network. But again, you meet so many people every day. You could have 10 really long rides, and you're likely to get 1 or 2 business cards a day out of those 10 long rides. Now, you could get 40 short rides, and it's actually probably going to be about the same, 1 to 2 business cards, because you didn't really have time to talk to anyone. The only real benefit of that is you make some decent money. How much can you make? When should you be doing this? How should you be doing this? The moment that you've all been waiting for. I know. Now, see, this can be pretty variable. Not gonna lie. But I found what works best for me and works best for a lot of drivers is actually driving in the early mornings. Now, when I say early, I mean early. Like before your barista at Starbucks wakes up. I typically start around 4 a.m., 4:30, if I sleep in. Sleep in on quotes. And the reason that this is one of the best times to drive, in my opinion, especially for networking, is because almost all the people taking Lyft or Uber or taxi or anything at that time in the morning is that they're going to the airport. You pick up a lot of airport rides, which longer fares give you more money and it gives you more time to talk. So you're likely to get a little more cash and a connection out of it. So another important thing that you guys all want to know about, how much do I make in an hour on average with Lyft and Uber? Well, lately it's been about $29 an hour, which sounds amazing, but I think realistically I average about 25. And that is before any taxes and expenses. So when you factor that in, and here's the key thing, if you're going to do Lyft and Uber, you have to use tax write-offs. Tax write-offs mean that I pay very little taxes out of my own pocket every year. Now, a lot of Uber drivers get screwed on this because they're self-employed, but they don't use any tax write-offs. It's dumb. Use your tax write-offs. Look it up. Talk to your accountant. They will know what to do. Don't break the law, but use the system. So after taxes, which is pretty much nothing, then you have expenses. So gas, I average about a gallon per hour, which in my state is about $3.30 a gallon right now. So you take that off the 25 average, and we're left at 22, roughly. Then when you factor in maintenance, which includes oil changes regularly, tire changes at least every 2 years, doing this part-time, then you're looking at breakdowns, car seizes up. I had to get a new head gasket. That was $3,400. It hurts, but it's a good tax write-off. Even after all these expenses, you're still actually looking close to $19 an hour, assuming you don't have a crappy car and it breaks down a lot. But that's just about what I average and what I get out pure profit from this business, all while making connections. And I'm currently in school, so it'll lead to another internship this summer. I'm positive about that, and in the future could potentially lead to a job for me. The best thing about it though is I have a stack of business cards. Actually, I think they're on my desk here somewhere, but anyways, yeah, that's really about it, guys. I mean, that is the number one way to expand your network. You pick up a ton of people, you meet a ton of people, and you get to talk to a ton of people. And then you know what? They want to connect with you. So go ahead and sign up for Lyft and Uber. I will have a referral link in the description. If you want to use that, you can get myself a bonus, and you can get yourself a bonus. I think it's about a $150 bonus for you guys. I honestly don't know what I get, but yeah, if you want to sign up, go ahead and use that. And thanks for watching. One more thing, guys. If you did like the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. I will be posting videos at least once a week, hopefully more. School is crazy, and it's engineering school, so it's triple crazy. Because that's how the law of engineering works, I guess. Anyways, it does really help out for the YouTube algorithm if you hit the like button and subscribe. So, bye.